So we have a problem. Determine whether a number is odd or even. So even number can be divided by 2. And we already created the code. I think if you still remember, yeah, we are creating this input and then we check if number can be divided by 2. So if number remaining 2 is 0, then it is even number. And last week we have the alternative. If number remaining 2 not equal to 0, then it is odd number. Instead of using this one, we can change with else. So if we put else, we don't need to write the condition. We can just write else. It means if it is not true, then we can just print it. Okay, the alternative is using else. We can just put else instead of giving another condition. If we want to create the flowchart, okay, we call this is the flowchart. If we have Boolean expression, so we have the Boolean expression. If the condition is true, then we will run the statement for the true case. Statement for the true case. If it is false, then we will run the statement for the false case. We will run the statement for the false case. Okay. So this symbol is for decision. If the decision, we have two kind of decision, it is true or false. There might be another kind of flowchart. We will check later. Now, let's have another example. I would like to check if a radius, if you still remember, last time we learned to calculate the area of a circle. If the radius is positive, then let's do the calculation. But if it is negative, you don't need to do the calculation. You just print it is negative indeed. So let's check this one. Okay, for now, let's try to type. Okay, it will be good for you to try to type the Python code. Circle area. I will make a new Python file. So in this example, I have one function which is import. What does it mean by import? In Python, we have a lot of library. There are many library that we can use, or there are many functions that we can reuse for our code. One of the important library is mathematics. So in the math, there are many functions. So in this case, I would like to teach you about the py. Okay. What is math.py? The math.py, it will show you the, let me run. It will show you 3.14 something something something. So the mathematical function in Python, they already have a constant value for pi. So you don't need to specify 3.14 blah blah blah. You can just use the math.type. So let's say, yeah, I want to define the radius equals to 5. And then if the radius is greater than or equal to 0. So if the radius is positive, then I will calculate the area, which is the radius multiplied by radius multiplied by the pi. So the pi, last time we defined with 3.14. So I don't need to use the 3.14. Instead, I can use math.pi. And after we have the calculation, we can print the area for the circle of radius, radius is area. So we want to combine the string and the numbers. We want to put everything in the same line. This is for the true statement. It means if the number is positive. But what if the number is negative? So we can put else. We can print negative input. So I can run. Okay, the area of the circle of radius 5 is this one. Now, if I put this as negative 5, then the result will be negative input. Okay. Now, there is another problem. An improved math learning tool. So this example creates a program to teach a first grade child how to learn subtractions. So the previous, I think some pages before this one, we try to create the problems for the first grade child to teach them how to do the addition. Now we want to do the subtraction. It means the program will randomly generate two single-digit integers, number 1 and number 2, and the number 1 should be greater than number 2. Maybe because the student, the first grade child, they still do not know about negative. They still do not know about the minus. Then we need to make a program so that the number 1 will be greater than number 2. So every number like this one, 9 minus 2, so the first number should be higher than the number 2. So if you do the addition, maybe 3 plus 4, okay. This one okay. But if you do the subtraction, 3 minus 4, this is not okay. We want to make it 4 minus 3 instead. Okay. So after the student types the answer, the program displays a message to indicate whether the answer is correct. Okay. How can you make this program? Okay. If you still remember the addition quiz 1, we have the random integer for number 1, and we have number 2 random integer. Okay, let me make a new Python file. Subtraction quiz. Let me copy and paste this one to the subtraction quiz. Now I want to create the subtraction quiz. If the previous one we create the addition quiz, then now I'm going to create the subtraction quiz. And the number 1 should be higher than the number 2. How can we create this one? We can make if function. Okay. If, okay, this is one example. If number 1 is greater than number 2, then let's create this one. So number 1 minus number 2. What about if number 2 is higher than number 1? Else, we can create the S number 2 and number 1. Okay. But what about the answer? The answer should follow this problem. It means I can, yeah, this is one alternative. So the answer will follow this string, and also this answer will follow the string. And I can do this one. The answer equals to the number 1 minus number 2. And for this one, the answer will be number 2 minus number 1. So if the number 1 is higher than number 2, so I can give the quiz as what is the str number 1 minus str number 2. And then I will check the answer. If the number 2 is higher than number 1, then I will do like this one. Let's check. What is 1 minus 0? So I will give 1. Then the result is true. Let's try again, subtraction quiz. What is 9 minus 6? Okay. So the higher number always in front. So this one, 3. Then it is 2. Okay. Any problems? Okay, I think it is easy to understand. Now I have some solutions for this one. Okay, so this is different answer. This is the alternative solution. n1 and n2, I would like to create a random integer. I will create a random integer. The first will be in n1 and the second will be into the n2. And then I would like to put the answer and rest equal to 0. So this is just to define the initial value. And then, yeah, it's the same. We can have the answer. The answer is created by n1 minus n2. And then if the result or the answer from the user is the same with the answer, then we will return true. So this is alternative solution. It will show also the same answer. There's another solution. What is this solution? We exchange the variable. If n1 is less than n2, so let's exchange it. Let the n1 equals to n2 and let the n2 equals to n1. After we have this value exchange, or we call it swap, okay, after we swap the value, so the n1 will be always higher than n2. So we can just use the same statement. What is the strn1 minus strn2? And then we can have this statement. If the n1 minus n2 equals to the answer, then you are correct. Else, your answer is wrong. So n1 minus n2 is n1 minus n2. Okay, so this is another alternative solution. So whenever I give problems to you, so you can have many other solutions. Okay. So if you want to check, I can make a new. So if you try with this, there are some errors. Usually this error, if you check your mouse, an illegal target for a variable annotation. So it might be related with the minus. So you need to change the minus with the, you take to delete and then type again. Okay. And then this one maybe because of the space. What is this error? End of statement is expected. Okay, so this one, there is one more bracket is needed. Okay, so whenever you have that kind of errors, you need to check what is the error message. So make sure that there is no error before you submit your assignment. So we can run this. What is 7 minus by 7? Let's say I make it wrong. Okay, I answer 1. Okay, so in this case, what is this error? the str object has no attribute n1. So this one, I guess we have no, we cannot use the dot. Okay. What is 2 minus by 2? 1. Then your answer is wrong. 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay, so whenever I give you the example like this one, please try again and then please check the error. Okay, there might be some errors that occurs and you need to find out what is the error. Okay. We can have nested if. One if statement can be placed inside another if statement to form a nested if statement. So if I is higher than k, then I want to check. If j is higher than k, then print I and j are greater than k. Else, print I is less than or equal to k. We can also have the multi-alternative or multi-way if statement. So in this case, I have the score. I would like to check whether the score is higher than 90. So if the score is higher than 90, then the grade is A. We have else. We have another if. If the score is higher than 80, then the grade is B. Else, and then we have another if. If score is higher than equal to 70, then the grade is C. And so on. Okay. So in this case, I can say that if the score is in between 80 until 89, then the grade is B. If the score is between 70 until 79, then the grade is C. If the score is between 60 until 69, then the grade is D. Otherwise, it is F. We can make like this one. So if the score is higher and equal to 90, the grade is A. We can use L if. Okay. Instead using else and then if, else and then if, else and then if, we can use L if. L if, L if, and in the final statement we use else. So the L if should follow with the condition. So in this case, I have the score higher than equal to 90, and then I have the score higher than equal 80. I have the score higher than equal 70. I have score higher than equal 60. Else means other score. So the flowchart will be like this one. If the score is higher than equal 90, yes, it is true. Then you will print grade A and then finish. But if it is false, we will check. Is the score is higher than equal to 80? Yes. If it is true, then it will go to grade B and so on. So for example, I have the score is 65. What is the grade? So I will check this one. 65 is higher than equals 90? No. False. We will go this way. 65 is higher than equal 80? No. It goes here. 65 is higher and equals 70? No, it goes here. 65 is higher and equals 60? Yes. So the grid is D. And we finish the condition. So the flowchart can represent how you can code. So the trace will be something like this one. Suppose the score is 70. And this condition is false. If the condition is false, we will go to the next else. Score is higher than 80. The condition is false. Score is higher than equals 70. Okay, the condition is true. Then the grid will be C, and then after we set the grid equals to C, it will exit the if statement. Okay, now let's try to write a program. Let's write a program to find out the Chinese zodiac. Do you know? I think in Korean, T, Yang T, Tak T. So if I input a particular year, a given year, so we will know what is the type of the zodiac by the animal. So if it is divided by 12 and the remaining is 0, then it is monkey. If the year divided by 12 and it equals to 1, it is rooster, and so on. Okay, so how can we make the program? Okay, so there is a hint here. So let's try to make together. I will make a Python file. I will make Chinese zodiac. So I need to get the input from user. So let's say I input year, and then I will input the year. Okay. You can use int, you can use eval, it's up to you. And then if year remaining 12 equal to 0, then print monkey. And we will need to do this for 12 times. We need to use else or elif for the next condition. In this case, I will use elif because there are many other options. And we need to specify what is the condition. So the year remaining by 12 equals to 1. So I need to print rooster. Okay. And the easy way is to copy and paste. So if it is 2, then dog. If it is 3, then it is pig. If it is 4, then it is rat. You can keep continue to write this one. If it is 5, it is ox. If it is 6, it is tiger. If it is 7, it is rabbit. If it is 8, it is dragon. If it is 9, it is snake. If it is 10, it is horse. If it is 11, it is sheep. Then finish. Sometimes you don't need to specify this one because this is the last one. So I can just put this one. You can use this one, or you can specify else and then print sheep. So let's see. So what year were you born? 2002? Okay. Your horse. Okay. The zodiac is horse. What is year that you were born? 2003? Okay. Your zodiac is sheep. Okay. So we can use this as the program to find what is your zodiac. So this is the alternative solution. I create the input and then I define the formula first. Year remaining 12. And then I put it into the variable zodiac. After I have this variable, I will check this one with the numbers. If it is 0, then monkey. If it is 1, then rooster. If it is 2, then dog, and so on. Okay. So the idea is similar. Okay, the idea is similar. Okay. Now I have questions. If x is higher than 2, if it is true, then if y is higher than 2, if it is true, z equals to x plus y. And then we print z. Else we print x. Okay. So let's suppose x equals to 3 and y equals to 2. Show the output. So x equals to 3 and y equals to 2. What is the output? Yeah, no output. Let's see, x equal to 3, then we will go to this statement. X is higher than 2? Yes. Okay. Now y equals to 2. Y is higher than 2? No. Then because it is false, we will go to this else. So we will print x is x. We will print x is 3. Okay. Now let's have another input. What is the output if x equals to 3 and y equals to 4? X equals to 3, y equals to 4. X is higher than 2? Yes. Y is higher than 2? Yes. So we will do z equals to x plus y. 3 plus 4, it will be z. Then we will print z is 7. Okay. What is the output if x equals to 2 and y equals to 2? So now x equals to 2, y equals to 2. X equals to 2? No. Then nothing. Then there will be no output. Okay. Can you draw the flowchart? So the flowchart will be like this one. X greater than 2. If it is true, or maybe the issue is if it is false, then nothing to do. If it is true, then we will check y is greater than 2. If it is false, then we will print x is x. Okay. What about if it is true? We will do z equals to x plus y, and then print z is z, and then we will finish, and then we will go to the next statement. Okay. There's another question. We have x greater than 2, y greater than 2, but now the difference is the location of else. Else, previously, else is located with the y, but now else is located with the x. So suppose x is 3 and y is 2. What is the result? X is 2, x is higher than 2? Yes. Y is higher than 2? No. Then there is no else. What happened? Let's check. So I have this problem, and then I have the x equals to 3 and y equals to 2. So if you run this, nothing. Okay, because there is no else. If I put this one like this one, then it will show you x is 3. So what does it mean? The location is important. Okay. When you put the wrong location of the else, it will give you different result. Okay. So what is the output if x equals to 3 and y equals to 4? 3 is higher than 2? Yes. 4 is higher than 2? Yes. So x plus y, 3 plus 4, we will print this one. What if x equals to 2 and y equals to 2? X greater than 2? No. Then we will print x is 2. Can you draw the flowchart? Okay. The flowchart will be x higher than 2. If it is true, we will check y higher than 2. If it is true, we will do z equals to x plus y, and then we will print z is z. But what about if it is false? So we do nothing. But what about if it isn't false? We will print x is x. So we will go to the next statement. We will go to the next statement. Okay. So the common errors here, most common errors in selection statements are caused by the incorrect indentation. So consider the following code in A and B. So in this case, it will be error. Why? Why? Because the print, okay, is not indented, and the Python code cannot understand what is area, because area is defined inside the if. Okay, so you can check this one. Okay, let me delete this. Radius equals to minus 20. If radius higher than equal to 0, area equals to radius multiplied by radius multiplied by 3.14. And then I want to print the area is area. So if you run, there will be error message. Name area is not defined because this variable is inside the if, but the print is outside the if. This one is correct, but there will be no result. Why? Why no result? Because of the minus on the radius. We will do this one when the radius is higher than 0. Okay. This one, the nested if. Yeah, as I mentioned to you, we need to understand which if clause is met with the else clause. So if the indentation is false, if you want to indicate this if in this if, and then you want to understand this else is belong to this if, then okay, you need to understand how you can define this else. This else means it indicates the false statement of this if. Okay. So be careful whenever you put the else if you have the multiple if like this one. The code can be simplified by assigning the test value directly to the variable. So here we have if number divided by 2 equals 0, then event is true, else event is false. So we can make the shortcut event equals to number remainder 2 equal 0. Okay, so let me make a new Python file. Number, let's say 50. Okay. If number remainder 2 equals 0, then event equals to 2. Else event equals to false. Okay. This contains 4 lines. You can simplify this one with one line. Event equals to number remainder 2 equal 0. So I will make this one as hook. Okay, I will remove this one. So I will check what is the result from this one. So the result is true. Okay. It means this code give you the same result with this one. And you can make it very simple in one line. Okay, let's have a break. Okay, I will continue after the break.